Good morning, you. I'm Sari too. It's Friday, March 6th. My sister's birthday. She's an old lady too. Let's see, she's 8, 7, 8, 76. 76 trombones in the big parade. Well, we got to get on with the story. It's a beautiful day out there. I got to hurry up and get my clothes on, get outside. But we got to get back to this story. I'm going to let you guys know, when I read this to you guys, it's the first time I read it. I didn't read it before I got on here this morning. It's all surprise to me. Because I can't give you a decent reaction if I read it and studied it like I'm teaching it to you. I'm just basically checking it out myself and with you guys, giving you my take on it. You give me a minute. I got a cough. Okay, we can breathe again. Where did we leave off? March 5th, Genesis 25, 5 through 10. Oh, we had Abraham. Abraham passed away and we buried him out there with Sarah. And a score is 20 years. So this is March 6th. Come on, pen. And I don't even see, I do this all right here when you guys live and in color. Genesis 25. We went down to 10, yep. And the field where Abraham buried, yep. Yep, that's just what we did. We had a funeral. Wow, we had a funeral and then we had a wedding, then we had a funeral. So we're going to start out with 11. Excuse me. And we're going to go down to 18. Yep, because then after that, all we're going to do is run off a bunch of names. I guess it looks like Isaac's kids. Well, let's get to seeing how many kids we got. Let's get the next generation going here. Children, not kids. They're not baby goats. You guys got to remind that old lady. So we're at 11. We're going to go down to 18. I better write this down. I forget. Here we go. And it came to pass after the death of Abraham that God blessed his son Isaac, and Isaac dwelt by the land, by the well Lahairoi. Now, these are the generations of Ishmael, Abraham's son, whom Hagar the Egyptian, Sarah's handmaid, bare unto Abraham. And these are the names of the sons of Ishmael by their names according to their generation. The firstborn of Ishmael is Nebajoth, and Kedar, and Abdeel, and Mibsam, and Mishma, and Duma, and Massa, Hadar, and Tema, Jeter, Naphish, and Kedemah. These are the sons of Ishmael And these are their names by their towns and by their castles. 12 princes according to their nations. And these are the years of the life of Ishmael, 137. And he gave up the ghost and died and was gathered unto his people. And they dwelt from Havilah unto Shur, that is before Egypt, as thou goest toward Assyria. And he died in the presence of all his brethren. So he was heading to Shur in Assyria. So that was Ishmael's batch. Should we get on with Isaac's batch? Well, we might as well, because it's not that long. Let's carry on. Let's not quit there. We'll go down to 24. Because then we can get both boys' families in on it. We got to figure out who's coming to Christmas. Or something. Passover. Heck, I don't know. That sounded good. So now we hear Isaac, or Ishmael's batch. Now we're going to hear Isaac's. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel and Syrian of Padan Aram, and sister to Laban the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. Well, I would say we have not necessarily a gender reveal, but we got a, kind of sounds like Rebecca's having twins, huh? Somebody's calling me and I don't want to talk to anybody, so I hung up on. I declined that call. They're interrupting my soap opera. How old was Ishmael when he died? I was going to write that down. Those are good numbers. A score is 20 years. 137. He was 137. Okay, I'm gonna hang on, you guys. I gotta take notes. Abraham was 103 score and 15. 75, 175 is the way I figure that. All right, let's go see what Jesus is doing. Where do we leave off Jesus? Oh, he was telling us how to. Oh, and I looked up tares, T-A-R-E-S. The enemy come along and planted tares. They look just like wheat until, I mean, you really can't. I know what weed they're talking about. It's a weed. And it's the weed that looks like wheat. See, I grew up in Farmville, so if you know if you pulled weeds enough up here and you've been in a wheat field, you know the difference. The tares get bad, or wheat, I think goes upright more. But yeah, it looks a lot like wheat. Because as a kid, I was always pulling it. Like, can we eat this? Can we make seed out of this? I don't know. I don't know. I have to look that up. But it does. It looks like that. So we're going to start with 24. No. Silly. 13. These kitties have not eaten yet. And we're having a race. So if you hear the wreck of the husbands coming on, I'm going to look that up too. 13, Matthew 13. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is like to a grain of mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his field, which indeed is the least of all seeds. But when it is grown, it is the greatest among herbs, and becometh a tree, so that the birds of the air come and lodge in the branches thereof. Amen. Wow. It's just a itty bitty seed, don't mean much of nothing, and I didn't know mustard seeds grew into trees. If I had a big old computer, we'd really be looking that stuff up. Wonder what a mustard tree looks like. Maybe I want one. Can mustard trees grow in Ohio? You might have to do a little research on that. So even if it's an itty bitty seed, it can turn into something really, really big. Big and useful. Plant that little bitty seed. If you get it in that good ground, you got a good straight stick. You're gonna have your tree worth something. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Thank you for the word, Lord. Thank you for this beautiful day. Is everybody still giving up their stuff they gave up for Lent? If you did, I gave up apples, and it's driving me nuts. I love apples. I keep seeing them on sale. And remember when I told you guys I lost my little paper? I found my little paper. I thought, what the heck? I don't even remember doing that. I don't even know why. I think it was just... It sits on my Bible really nice. And it's bigger than this big old notepad book. But... Alright, let's get on with our stupid stuff we didn't know we wanted to know. Oh, I told you about the tear. That looks like wheat. Hang on a minute, I got a cough. Okay, I think we're good. So it's Friday, March 6th. And what happened on this day in history? Let's go back to 1836. The fall of the Alamo. This is, the Mexican forces defeated the Texan defenders after a 13-day siege. 1836. Texas wasn't a state yet. I take it. That's not even 100 years after our semi-quincentennial. Or, yeah. Just throw that dumb word in there today. In 1869, oh, this is interesting. They made the periodic table. Anybody know what the periodic table is? It's the elements. He made the periodic table. His name is Dmitry Mendeleev, a Russian chemical society. And they did it by weight. And the gases are here and does anybody know how many we have? I think last count I knew was 117 chemicals on the periodic table. Anybody know? Anybody want to comment about that? Any chemists out there? Then we got, aspirin was registered in 1899. So we got some aspirin. In 1896 now, Charles Brady King drove the first automobile in Detroit. Vroom, vroom. Wonder what they considered an automobile. Wonder what that looks like. See, if I had a computer, I could show you guys pictures of this stuff. And in 1981, Walter Cronkite signed off for his last broadcast. And that's the way it is. When I was growing up, I wanted to be a news person. I would act like I was on TV. I used to play like I was Johnny Carson too, my cousin and I. But I turned the little handle for the window like a microphone. And I would talk out. Well, it's out the window to the backyard, to the dogs out there, I don't know. And I would act like I was giving the news. And Walter Cronkite, I always thought that man was such a distinguished gentleman. He was my favorite newscaster. And at the end of all his broadcasts, he would say, and that's the way it is. And that's the way it is. Love that guy. So I did a little bit more researching on him. He started broadcasting in 1962. And he was born in St. Joseph, Missouri in 1916. And he died on July 17th in New York. In 2009, he was 92 years old. Yeah, I really like Walter Cronkite. He worked for CBS, that's what it said there. And that's the way it is. And to get a little culture in us, how about this? Giuseppe Verdi wrote the opera La Traviata, and it debuted in Venice 1853 on this day. So la-ti-da. Never heard of it. I've heard of Verdi, but I've never really listened to his music. Maybe we ought to check out this opera. Aren't they all tragedies? Well, Friday, I think I'm going to get the cats out. I think we're going outside. We might take a little bit of picture later on. I'm going to go see if my tulips are popping up. Get my rake out there and rake up all them leaves and fix my yard. Now we can go play outside. That's what we'll do. You know what? What has 5 toes and isn't your foot? My foot.